Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and a new Nigeria is possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, we've come again to have a discussion on the things happening in Nigeria, especially as it concerns the House of Reps seeking 10-year prison sentence or 5 million naira fine for Nigerians who refuse to recite national anthem. That will be coming at this very hour. I will be bringing you the reaction of Nigerians who have decided to take bull by the horn and make sure that this very controversial bill never see the light of day. Though it has been said to have been withdrawn, but the reports are very sketchy about it. We are still waiting for reports coming in. We are also going to bring you the issue of Tinubu, who has put pen to a bill that is raising the salaries of judicial officers by 300% after giving Nigerian workers a common 70,000 naira. And of course, we'll be bringing you Senator Kamara, who representing Kano South, who discloses that he earns over 21 million monthly. That is Samaila, contradicting the people who are representing the government that is saying otherwise. And of course, we also bring you the Wasbos, the Ovevekuve, according to Aisha Yusufu, that is happening in Kano State, where a young man has called out the chairman of the APC for what? For the embezzlement, the amount, the billions of money that he showcased, clearly transferred from government coffers to private accounts. All of this we'll be having the discussion on. And of course, joining me to have this discussion, I have 1 million Nigerians on Zoom who are going to react to all of this, as there is serious overvekuve going on right now. So, but let me start before I call our people to start the discussion on. Let me tell, for people who don't know what this Subversion bill is all about. Number one is, if you hold Tinubu accountable for being a failure that he is, you will do 2 years in prison and you will be fined 4 million naira. That's one. Number two, if you question your imams, if you question your clerics, if you question your pastor, your traditional rulers, you will do 2 years in jail, in prison, and also be fined 4 million naira. Number three, if you protest against bad government in Nigeria, you will do 10 years in prison and you will pay a fine of 5 million naira. Number four, if you sponsor any protest or you seem to come out to protest that Constitution gave you the right in Nigeria, or receive money to sponsor protests, you will do a 20 years in prison and be fined 15 million naira. Number five, and not the least, if you refuse to recite the new national anthem like Aisha Yusuf does, you will do 10 years in jail and be fined 5 million. And that's why I said it's another Ovevekuve. Nigerians, we still have time to stop this before it passes this bill into law. I know they've said that they're about to pressure to withdraw it, but we know how their audio is. If Tinubu successfully gets the Senate and the House of Reps to pass this bill into law, then we have to say bye-bye to democracy in Nigeria. No more freedom of speech again. You know what? Even North Korea will be paradise. That is for people who say so. Joining me to have this very discussion and other discussions that I've mentioned are our own people on Zoom. But let's start quickly with what's happening in Kano right now, the Ovevekuve that is happening in Kano. As we have our own Christian, Oche, who is, of course, going to give us that very buzzbuzz that is going in Kano right now. Christian, welcome to Obidient Family TV, Hope Alive. We understand there is still hope for people in Kano State, notwithstanding what just transpired in Kano on the End Bad Governance protest. There is news coming from Kano State that there's an expose by one young man who trends on contents, who has made clear and brought serious allegation, not just allegation, with proof that Ganduje, the Gandola, is going to be captured by the EFCC, or else he will expose some more. Please give us that gist before we get to the major gist of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Kalu. It's a pleasure to be here again. Hope alive will remain. The situation in Kanu is
next level. Wait here,
Kanu has been known to be a lifestyle of Ganduje, the APC chairman. He was at a point caught on camera where he was stuffing dollars into his babariga. Money supposedly was part of contract money that was paid by the state government. That was otherwise called a kickback. And during his time as governor, he had used his wife's identity, his wife's BVN account details to siphon state government money to the tune of 26 billion naira. That was the explanation that Dambelo is making in that video, as he was explaining in Hausa. The 26 billion were sent in badges. They were dropping in badges, some in 10 million, some 20 million, some 30 million, some 100 million in badges, until they were able to achieve that 26 billion naira. So he used the name of MJ, the company, the name MJ. MJ was MJ something. That's the name of the company that was used. And the owner of that MJ company money directly on the state Kano state coffers to that particular deep research was done by Dambelo. He discovered that the said account was linked to the wife of the former Kano state governor, in person of Ganduje. So it's a collaboration, like a conduit pipe that has been connected to the state coffers to siphon the state government money.
Wow, that is very, very. And from what the young man is showing, he's showing evidence. Bank transfer instructions. He's showing bank account details of those transfers, 60-something million and 80-something million in different batches. This is is it from the Kano state government account direct to that very personal account?
Directly from the Kano state government account. The evidence are there. Even on the video, you can trace the account number. It's unfortunate that we have what we call EFCC, ICPC. We don't understand the essence, where they're running after Yahoo boys for $1 million dropping in their account, but they are unable to track money that have been sent from state government account to the tune of 26 billion naira to a private company. What is the private company supplying?
Yeah. So have we heard anything coming from the Kano state government? This is actual the treasury of the state. Have we heard anything coming from the Kano state government? I know they wanted to prosecute him some time ago, but I don't know if this particular expose is part of it.
Yet to get a official confirmation from the Kano state government in respect to their reaction to the allegations that are already in the public space. And it is only expected that the state government has to react and commence investigation in earnest. Otherwise, the protesters are justified, because there's no reason for a state that could mismanage 26 billion to be in hunger, where the people are in hunger without food, whereas 26 billion was just funded in the past administration, less than a year.
This is just so pathetic.
This man is the same man that was indicted on the dollar issue, and is the same man that is the chairman of the APC, is the same.
Even before his emergence as APC chairman. But you know, APC, they find it very convenient working with criminals. That's why he ended up becoming APC chairman. And yeah, even with this allegation, I believe nothing concrete will be done against him because they are all united in criminality.
The poverty nature, and I mean the poverty-stricken nature of Kano populace, which of course the majority of them are of very not just low-income earners. You see so much beggars on the street, and we talk about 26 billion. Now the EFCC, we expect, should come into all of this, but I will advise some people who may wish to listen to what has to be said about this very video to go to Comrade Aisha's platform to actually get her own view as she explained in the English version. Now let's quickly come back. Thank you very much, Christian, for bringing that up. I saw that very video and I felt that Nigerians at this very point in time need to know that this very chairman of APC, as corrupt as we know that he is the one who looted the treasury of that Kano state as alleged by this man. But with evidence, I don't call it alleged. And even the state government has since been talking about EFCC not reacting to their request to probe this man. Neither has he come to attend to court matters that is in court. So that's why we always say, where is democracy in Nigeria and where is the rule of law in Nigeria? But let's quickly get back to the business of the day. As you know, that controversial subversion bill that is seeking to put 10 years prison sentence on 5 million fine for Nigerians who refuse to recite national anthem and so many other things are actually this thing. Let's start with the people who are reacting on X first. Let's take one or two things from X, then let's get to our people on Zoom, because our people are really waiting and eager to deal with that. We have Miss Peels, who says Nigerians must do all they can to stop that bill from passing second reading. If it passes and becomes law, Nigeria will be worse than North Korea. We say no to civilian dictatorship. We say no to gerontological kakistocracy. We must stop counter subversion bill now. That is coming from Miss Peels. Let's also look at Anonymous NG, who says that dangerous Nigeria is heading into full dictatorship. Tinubu is using Speaker of the National Assembly Tajuddin Abbas to pass a bill that will send you Nigerians to prison for protesting, calling your leaders out, for using your freedom of expression. I am not even joking. Wow, this is coming from a name. Now, before we come back to our people on X, because there are so many people who are, you know, doing basbos and ovekuve on the X platform. But let's get to the real deal here. Let's start with Lord K. Lord K, you've heard, let's dive into this, because all the people's representative during this very end bad governance protest, I did not see a single one of them, or I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I did not see one who represents a certain constituency, who actually came out with their constituency to talk about the hunger that is actually ravaging their constituencies. Neither did they provide for the interventions that they said they got from Chief Bola Tinubu. And we heard some of them got 2 trucks of rice. We heard some of them has 1 truck of fertilizer. We heard so many things, but we did not get. Now what they seek to implement on Nigerians are to gag Nigerians with a subversive bill that states that even reciting the national anthem that people can willingly choose not to talk about, to go to prison. For people not to even convert, for people even not to say that the water they are drinking in their area is not good. When you say PIM like that, you are in prison or you pay 5 million. Where does Nigerians hope to get 5 million or 15 million that they are stipulating? Are they giving their constituencies money? It's time we reach out to them. Lord Kingsley, please tell me your opinion of all of this, because it is time we reach out to these very constituents of these National Assembly members to make sure that they are active citizens.
Good evening, fellow Nigerians. Good evening, Obidient family, everyone on the studio, and my Zoom panelists. Well, I want to start by first saying it's a pity. It's a pity that when they say the head is rotting, there is nothing left behind to salvage. Let me start by reading these comments that, this hopeless senator or whomsoever he is actually said. He said the House of Representatives have introduced the Counter Subversion Bill 2024, which aims to impose stringent penalties on Nigerians who fail to recite the national anthem. I mean, that's the new national anthem that they have actually brought in themselves. According to the proposed legislation, anyone found guilty of refusing to recite the national anthem shall be fined 5 million naira, face a 10 years prison sentence, or both. Anyone who destroys a national symbol or a place of worship shall be liable to the same punishment. The bill, sponsored by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, I believe he's from Kanu or Kaduna. Is he from Kanu or Kaduna? Where is he from?
He is from Kaduna, I believe. Kaduna.
From Kaduna. And I want people to actually find the local government he's in and the area he's in, and probably maybe where he lives in that area. I want people to go and see him, to go and ask him why, in a very soft manner. Tajuddin Abbas is set for a second reading, where general principle will be debated. The bill stipulates that anyone found guilty of destroying national symbols, refusing to recite the national anthem and pledge, defacing the place of worship with intent to incite violence. Listen to this, to incite violence. So what did Tinubu do when he actually brought in his thugs to come and protest against those that were protesting? Was he not inciting violence there? Let's go on. Or undermining the federal government shall face a fine of 5 million or a 10 years prison sentence. The bill also stated that anyone who sets up an illegal roadblock, perform unauthorized traffic duties, impose an illegal curfew, or organizes an unlawful possession will be subject to a fine of 2 million. What did Tinubu do? Let's go on. Also, any person who forcefully takes over any place of worship, town hall, schools, premises, public or private place, or a similar place through duress, undue influence, subterfuge, or what's this there? Or similar activities, commits an offense and is liable to conviction of a fine of 5 million or imprisonment for a term of 10 years or both. Now, let's go into all this. My fellow Nigerians, I think what happened between the 1st and the 10th of this August was a warm-up. Was a warm-up to what the select president of Nigeria was expecting. Because what he was actually expecting was for Nigeria to burn down, for Nigeria to go in blaze, for there to be a lot of destruction, for there to be a lot of fighting, killing, burning of the public houses, destroy the Senate and all these kind of things. But that did not happen, because that was what he was planning to happen when he went to hire another group of people to come and fight the protesters. But God helping us, the protesters, we were actually sensible to stay away from all that trouble. So that is why they are looking for more access. They're looking for more trouble, looking for more ways to cause trouble, to cause Nigerians to get aggravated. Are you understand what I'm saying now? They are wanting us to get more angry. That is why they're coming up with all these laws, coming up with all these acts, and they want to pass it and then becomes law for Nigeria. Now, I think it's time. I think it's time that we actually now tell them. I mean, we don't have to go into all this procession we did before, like going on the street and all these kind of things. Now, what is going to be happening is we need to be visiting these senators, these House of Assembly members, all these representatives. We need to be visiting them in their houses, visiting them in their residence to understand. Let's go and give them the letters in their houses, face to face. Whichever way it takes to meet them, let's start visiting them. Let's start going to them one by one. And then, by the time they converge in the House of Senate or the House of Rep, or wherever they converge, they will have something to say that, look, I could not sleep in my house last night because of people attacking or making noise or shouting or doing, wherever we see them, wherever they drive, they go marketing, they go shopping, themselves, their wives. Let's start attacking them to give them this letter. Because if we don't start doing this right now, just like as what the other guy said on X, that South Korea will be a playground to what Nigeria is going to be experiencing. What happened in Kenya? What happened in Kenya was not even 1/3 of what Nigeria is experiencing. And these people are now coming with more stringent rules that we cannot even protest, we cannot process, we cannot do anything in that country anymore. Who the hell do they think they are? Who put them in that position? Who put them in that office? Are they not Nigerians that put them there? Now they put them there. Now they want to guard Nigerians. They want to guard Nigerians. Woe betide them. Woe betide them. Gentlemen, now is the time. Now is the time we should go out to them one after the other. One after the other. No mercy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lord Kingsley. I think
for we want them to become active citizens, as this very one is a wake-up call for all Nigerians to face their representative, be it senators in their senatorial districts, be it the House of Rep or the House of Assembly members. Every one of us has a duty right now to reach out to all their reps, to ask them for all the intervention materials that the federal government is saying they have sent out. And of course, also demand from them what is their take on gagging them from not stating that they are hungry and that they have been impoverished in their own constituencies. This is the time, it's a wake-up call for all youthful Nigerians across everywhere. It's in their local area. Let's even go local this time. Let's even face these very National Assembly members who are said to be representing us, but really not looking out for all of us on what our needs are. And when they did not do the needful, we recall them.
Mr. Tajuddin Abbas, he's from Kanu. He's from Kanu that came with this nonsense. He's from Kanu, and you see the suffering people in Kanu are going through. You see how the
same Kanu that their ex-governor embezzled from the state treasury. Is it about how many billion that you just talked about? Wow. Okay, let me quickly jump because our time is quickly running Let's
another person, Mr. Bassi. Please, let's get this. And I want you also to join Mr. Bassi while you are also contributing to this, to talk about the federal government audio that came out yesterday after they had their council meeting, and we have Nuhu Ribadu, who came out to state that about 83 billion was traced to money channeled towards nationwide protest, as reported by Punch newspapers. And of course, we also heard that he included 50 million US dollars, 50 million US dollars of cryptocurrency, according to him, and 38 million of which were blocked in 4 cryptocurrency wallets, and another 4 billion naira, he said, contributed by various political actors in Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, and Katsina. With all this audio, them saying, trying to create an insurrection or make a protest of Nigerians to look like an insurrection. Do you see any truth in what they have said? Because all the reports coming from different national dailies and even mainstream media are suggesting that nobody, even the one that they say happened in actors in Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, and Katsina State, all these 4 billion they said were contributed in naira. Why are they not naming the people who contributed, which account where this money is? Or they are just making empty announcements just to make people feel that there is such a thing as an insurrection in Nigeria? Mr. Kinney.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanu. Good evening, and good evening all the studio panelists. Good day, Obidient, wherever you are listening from across the globe. First of all, I want to correct the impression. The Tajuddin Abbas is from Kaduna, not from Kano.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Please, we need to correct that so that viewers don't carry wrong information. Having said that, it's unfortunate once again that every day we wake up in Nigeria, we are witnessing various events coming out from the government and their agents playing out in the country. The NSA came up with a misinformation. That information is misleading and it's a propaganda. And this was meant to ensure that they get all the former head of states or the former president to pass that vote of confidence that they did yesterday on Bola Tinubu. And when you look at some of these things, you are making an unfounded allegation that and claiming those are credibly intelligent. If 83 billion was blocked, whose account was receiving that amount of money? Why was it not made public? Because at this point is no more secret. It should be laid bare. Let everybody know who funded that account, where the money came from, the so-called politicians in Abuja that raised 4 billion. Is it that they don't have names? Why have they not been, arrested? Why have they not been investigated? Why do you have to bring it to the decision so that you can now paint innocent protest that naturally was orchestrated by hunger in the land? They are now tagging it movement. You remember, this is the same thing these same people did during NSAS. The very reason why NSAS went the way it went is because this is the same propaganda this same government came up with. And they did the same thing again. So now they are now trying to win sentiment so that people will begin to tag what was originally a protest as a movement. Understand why these people are doing this. It's unfortunate that Nigeria has been captured. And this is my take in this. To the extent that even the past leaders have been captured. I try to understand why they will go and pass a vote of confidence on this government. Is it that the cry of Nigerians that there's hunger in the land is not true? Is it that Bola Tinubu is providing all he can to ensure that there is no poverty in the land? That clearly tells me that every of those people that were in that meeting yesterday, they are the enemy of this country.
Absolutely.
And if you trace back, they are the reason why this country is where it is. And that's why they don't have a voice anymore. They can no longer stand for the masses, but they are only stand for their own people, the political class, because they have entered a covenant to ensure that they bring down Nigeria. They have entered a covenant to ensure that Nigerians don't have quality life. They don't deserve quality life. And they don't deserve to have food on their table. This is the conspiracy of this class. And I looked at it. I asked myself, these leaders who were confident on the present government, what was the basis? What was the reason why they passed that vote of confidence? Are they not living in this country? Any reason to attack or to criticize the president of the day? So they can only say, okay, we give you a vote of confidence. You are doing very well. This government is a government of propaganda. And they are taking us back to the dark age. This is what it is. Imagine the kind of bill they are trying to smuggle into the, pass to law, to enslave, to capture Nigerians. This is the reason we should rise up and know that no leader, none of these leaders can help us. It is high time we all rise up and begin to take our destiny in our hands by calling to account all our representatives, right from every constituency, every state constituency, every federal constituency. We need to begin to hold them to account because they have also been compromised and they are not representing, or they are supposed to be the representation of the masses, but they are not doing that. We are seeing in their body language, in the way they go about things, in the way they are succumbing to every bill that is proposed by the executive to capture Nigerians. We were supposed to have the people that can stand and say, no, this is not going to be accepted because of our people. So where is that constituency representation? It's not there. So we need to rise up and begin to call them to account. I support Lord K's position in sending letters to them, approaching them in their houses, calling them to account. They must come and begin to account for what they are doing. And where they fail to do that, we should begin to initiate what we call to withdraw. To begin to withdraw them back because they are not representing us. They are not representing us. There have to be a recall where we find it that we cannot, we are not comfortable with their response. We must begin to, initiate a recall so that we can take back our country. I did said earlier, some times ago, that I don't believe in this National Assembly because They are not just a rubber stamp, they are photocopy of the executive. So they don't represent us, they only represent their belly. Today you are seeing what the revenue mobilization came up with, trying to gaslight Nigerians, putting forward a figure that is absolutely not applicable. That is just to deceive Nigerians. So I'll raise my case here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is all about deceit. We have Mazi Kali with us today. Mazi Kali, welcome to Obidient Family TV.
Get into the next discussion points. I also enjoy what Lord K said, which has to do, we need to become active citizens by the constituents, whether it is a state constituent, federal constituent, and senatorial districts. Everybody in the local area must, at this very point, start holding their reps accountable or record them. We need to take that very fight of this hunger and starvation to them so that from there, we take it off from there. But let's quickly listen to what Sam Amadi, who said that the factor that drove the northern angle that we are talking about of the protest is really hunger, and the movement was put together by crisis of governance. That is what Sam Amadi said in Arise, Credit to Arise. Let's quickly listen to what he said there. Then we'll come back and then talk more on what, because when they say it's an insurrection coming from the north angle, there are people who beg to differ. Let's take a listen.
Drove the northern angle of this protest were local issues about hunger, disappointment in government. So if it was a movement, then it's actually a movement put together by crisis of governance. And if the people who are the president here are telling him this cock and bull story around the removal of government, look, unlike NSAS, when we saw some militarization, so you could say the NSAS protest probably go to Tinubu's establishment, burn down something, go to the Oba of Lagos. One can read some, whether it's real or not. This one, you can't read a particular political move, at least at the level of power. This Abuja, we didn't see any instance of burning, attack against security. So there's nothing like people trying to put down government. That's number one. Number two, there's a physician with election. Why should somebody like Aleke at this point talking about wait for 2027? Look, the essence of protest is to signal to government that something is not going well. These people who protest are not necessarily people who want to go and stand for election. So a government that's thinking about, oh, we have a mandate 4 years. Wait for us next 4 years. It's a government bound to fail. That's dangerous because it means that you petition to governance. You are fixing on election. That's the problem of this administration. We're too conservative. You know, this is a meeting for advisory. It's not a meeting to roll out program. We've done this. It's for the president to seek advice and say, look, we're in a country that's divided. We're a country where our youths given to violence in this part of the country because of hunger, several issues that even other leaders have raised. Can we have a Marshall Plan? Right. What do you guys advise me? So you don't turn it into providing a justification to say, oh, they came and endorsed me with vote of confidence. I don't think really, and that's the truth, nobody wants to remove any government forcefully. I think this is about saying people in government are not listening. So I agree with you, this is a national emergency. The demograph of this violence, of this protest rather, and the messaging that went with it before and after should have made government to say, let's leave politics around this. That's really, of course, politicians will weaponize it. I mean, there's not APC, PDP, Labour Party will take political advantage. That's not the point. The point is that this is not a political movement.
So I just wanted us to hear this coming from Sam Amadi. He's, of course, a known public analyst. But again, when we talk about the End Bad Governance protest and the Council of States meeting that happened yesterday, wherein an introduction was brought to the attention of very prominent Nigerians and elders, governors, ex-presidents and all of that, that an insurrection is what they witnessed on the actually end bad governance. But this man that just spoke made it clear that is purely a factor. Hunger is the factor that drove the northern angle of that very protest and nothing else. Calling it insurrection and talking about people who had funded to the tune of 83 billion naira, and talking about 30-something million dollars funds, and people are being arrested and being indicted. None of these people were actually indicted or actually arrested because they did not mention no names, no account numbers, and nothing. Just talking about insurrection to seek a clarification. Yes, of course. Some people might believe that when they come out, they want people to hear that Tinubu has been given a healthy bill to continue. But then, at the back of their mind, they know that it's hunger. And that very hunger was communicated to the government. And of course, we staying in Nigeria know how it is going. So basically, having heard of all of this, seen the protests, and now seeing the bill that is being introduced in the House to gag Nigerians from even protesting, what do you have to say, Kali?
Thank you, Mazi Kano, and everybody in the panel. It's been an unusual month, in Nigeria, and it's unfortunate that what we foresaw a long time ago, Nigerians are seeing it now, which is that the APC was nothing short of a cult. A cult in the real sense of it, because once these people take that oath in closed door, they walk like a band of hyenas. So what you see right now is that they just on innocent Nigeria. So naira that was put in this account and those nonsense crap, nothing. Look, they just do is to create the impression that they have this intelligence of how money moves to sponsor the so-called movement. And yet you ask yourself a question. You have armed robbers and you have kidnappers who will kidnap people, ask for 2 billion naira, and that money is transferred, and the so-called DSS and Mr. Rubaro don't have any idea who got the money, where the money went. But they will tell you that they know how to trace money that came from somewhere else. So I don't buy that those things. It's just a way to distract Nigerians and then create the impression that, you know what, we are watching, we have the intelligence. They don't have anything. And it's only left for us to see whether or not we can sustain this revolution and take it to the... Thank you.
Thank you much, Mazi Kali, for joining us and having your own.
We also want, there's something I want to bring to your attention again, if you just make your comment on it. We heard that NMPC Limited again has postponed Port Harcourt refinery operations for the 6th time. Postponing refinery operation. This is what they have been doing during the time of Buhari. Now they have entered. They keep doing this. Even when we are talking about the Malta, people are saying, oh, Tinubu owns Malta refinery. And what do you just have to say about this? Of course, we know about the other UK NGO who tried to bribe David Undain against Dangote refinery. Of course, we have all of that. So let's quickly have Tony, while if Mazi Kali mutes as at the present. Tony, let's get your take on the active citizens in place while we wait for Mazi Kali to get back. Tony.
Thank you, and thank you, listeners. The thing is, like I keep saying, this is really not a country. Nigeria has been hijacked by a set of cult, and their enablers. How can Abbas, how can he bring up that kind of legislation? We are talking about, you just said that the Port Harcourt refinery, the start date has been postponed again. This is what they ought to be investigating. Not only investigating, moving legislation in House and Senate to punish severely all those saboteurs, all those people that have kept this country, kept Nigerians hungry up to this point, no matter how high they are. But this is what we have. A bunch of legislators, some of them rigged the election that brought them in. They are not connected with the people, and they are amassing enormous wealth while the rest of the country is struggling, suffocating in hunger. Why should a senator make 21 billion naira in a month? 21 billion naira in a month. Not the salary. The salary may be around 1 million. But these are perks and all other things in the whole world that they pay themselves. 21 billion. Think about it, guys. So
Tony, just for correction, the senator representing Kano, that he earns 21 million naira monthly, and that is Senator Somaila Kawo, who is representing Kano South, who said that he says, well, from what we've learned is the revelation is starkly contrasts with the 1 million monthly salary allowance reported by the federal government through the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission for each senator. So Kawo explained rather that while his official salary is around 1 million, that additional allowances and deduction bring his total monthly take home to 21 million naira. Of course, that is the disclosure that has fueled ongoing debates about the compensation about federal lawmakers. But Tony, I understand where you are going to. It has to do with 21 million, and of course, we are deliberating 70,000 naira for ordinary Nigerians. After all, they are still dealing with the same families. All the same. Can you quickly just do your recounting within 1 minute, because we are really out of time, Tony?
109 senators. A month, they make 2.3 billion naira. In the year, all the senators make 27.5 billion naira. In 1 year, not to talk about the House. Now, Tinubu, we are told, we learned from Sahara reporters, in July, as a matter of fact, on July 17th, they transferred money to buy Forex, 1.5 billion naira. As a matter of 1.562 billion naira. Now, recall that in February, 1.041 billion was also used to buy Forex in his trip to Ethiopia. The wife, we lent 473 million to visit 3 countries. Now, it came to pass that money, that 1.562 billion, he's using it to travel to Equatorial Guinea for 3 days, just 3 days, and it's terrible. What is going on in this country is terrible.
And he's up again, and that's why.
And
why we are actually calling for the citizens of Nigeria in their different respective constituents, whether state, federal, or a senatorial district, to become active citizens.
Of course, writing letters to them. We are going to follow up with this very development, of course. And finally, Lord K, I will be leaving because our time is really up. But I heard that the United Kingdom has given security, what do you call it, this thing to their, they have issued a security citizens against traveling to Nigeria. They insist that a fresh and bad governance protest may erupt on a short notice. Please, just in 30 seconds, what do you have to say about this?
Gentlemen, I don't think that's a wrong advice that the United Kingdom has actually issued to its citizens in Nigeria, because right now, since the government do not want, that's the government of Nigeria, do not want before any protest anytime. And the way the government of Nigeria is actually going right now, that they want to ban people from protesting, they want to fine, they want to imprison, they want to every nonsense. People coming out to speak their mind that they are hungry. And so the government of the United Kingdom, United States, and so they are all now particular about their citizens, even though the Nigerian government does not care about their its own citizens. So the United Kingdom and the United States, they are all now telling their people to be very careful going to Nigeria. Reason to go there for holidays. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Lord Kingsley. Our time is up. Thank you, gentlemen. For your
I also want to bring it to the audience attention that the Economic and Financial Crimes EFCC has donated the sum of 50 billion naira to support the Nigeria Education Loan for that is the NEL fund. The question that I want to ask at this point is 50 billion naira from EFCC to support education, the Nigerian education. We want to know the people who are beneficiaries of this very NEL fund. We're talking about the student loan. How many? That's why we said clearly that we want active citizens across Nigerian, be it in their constituency or in the senatorial districts. We want answers. Who among the people in Nigeria, the youths in Nigeria that are benefiting from this? We want the numbers, not just them telling us that 1 million are beneficiaries. We want to know how much is involved. Let's get to basics. Let's hold our House of Rep members, our senators accountable. Let's become active citizens from today. We'll be expecting you guys all over the local areas to write letters out to your National Assembly members and to follow it up. And on each day, we will follow it up and make sure that the hunger that is happening in the land, that they do something about it. The intervention that has been done to have been done by Chief Bola Tinubu, that were communicated to them, you need to start asking questions from your representatives, or a total recall. And that is what we'll be calling. Our time is up. Thank you very much for being with us on
this EFCC donation of 50 billion. You know what that money has actually gone for? That money has actually gone to their private pockets. They don't want to account for that 50 billion. That is why they are donating it to an unknown entity, which of course they are saying is for students loan or whatever. Who is the students they are donating it to? Unknown. Whose account is it going to? Their private pockets. That is what that 50 billion is actually. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. EFCC said
they have donated 50 billion to NEL Fund, and NEL Fund happens to be the facility where the student loan is coming from. All we demand and what we need for is accountability to show the number of Nigerian youths who are beneficiaries of these billions that are being sent there, and we want to know which institutions these are, and also we want to know from which constituents they are coming from. Until we start holding our reps and our senators accountable and being active, we will continue to be in poverty, will continue to be under hunger. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.